Hi there. Welcome to Conversations, where we seek to advance your leader and team excellence by discussing relevant topics that impact today's organizations. Welcome to the show. Hey there, leader, and welcome to Conversations, where today we have Dr. Diane Wiater with us, and we are going to be talking about this partnership that we have established to bring you the Confident Leader Symposium that is happening January 25th through 28th of 2021. Diane, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Kelly. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to talking about this.
I'm really excited that together we have, decided to bring the symposium to the leaders. And what's interesting about this is many of you probably have seen Dr. Wiater and myself when we brought the discovery survey for 2020 to the public, because we were really interested in hearing how leaders are really holding up in 2020, because we know that 2020 has just left a lot of people tired and weary. And that's what leaders were telling us.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, as we talked about this whole process of what was happening with leaders, how can we do something that will strengthen their leadership? We really wanted to know, first of all, well, what really were they going through? Sure, we had the anecdotal information and we had concrete scenarios from people that we know and that we've been in conversation with. And there were themes that were rising up. But as we talked about what really do people need, really, I mean, I think it was you, Kelly, said, well, we should ask them. Let's ask them. Let's do a survey and find out. And so we did, because it was really important to us to just really find out directly from people what they felt they needed, what maybe they didn't need, what they wanted. And so that came about the discovery survey.
Yeah. And you're right. The data was really telling of the times. And it was interesting. Some of the areas that leaders really were, and not just leaders, but leaders, teams, and organizations, when leaders are looking at these three distinct areas, was that confidence was really lacking. And I know our numbers showed less than 80%. They were all in the 70s for leaders, teams, and organizations. How confidently were they equipped to going into the future? And so that is right up our alley when we are looking, as leader development coaches and strategists, really, how can we help support the leaders who need to raise their confidence levels? And the way that we chose to do that was through the Confident Leader Symposium.
Yeah, it was really interesting because, as you said, as we were getting the data and looking at what leaders had to say, I think both of us were a little bit surprised, at that number, which even for teams was right under 80% almost the whole time, telling us that leaders, first of all, we really did appreciate just that candor, because it helped inform really what we were going to do next and how we were going to do that next piece in the process. So them telling us what they needed and what was going to be helpful. So that's how we came about with these topics that we've got, leader health and wellness. How do we build those confident teams? Some specific skill sets that leaders felt like they were lacking, and was huge to hear from them. And really, again, just the candor with which people responded to that survey to help us decide, what really was going to be part of it.
Yeah. And what we did is we took that data, we took what leaders were telling us, and then we reached out to leaders who we knew would be able to bring the content to the symposium and really be able to help equip the leaders. And so the invitations went out, and we just had an overwhelming response to, yes, these leaders wanted to be part of the symposium. And so we have leaders not just from the United States, but also in South Africa, which is amazing.
Yeah. It is amazing because, this piece of the relationships and the leaders that we do know who are doing what we feel like those who who again took that survey, but there was a representation there of kind of saying, wow, I really feel like I need more of this. I've been in these trenches. This is what's taking place for me. I need a little bit of a boost here. I need some more equipping here. I need this to help build my confidence. I mean, there was a direct question, what will help in building your confidence? And so as they told us, we know people and we know experts. And so we did reach out, and I mean, it's humbling, as well as really exciting that so many people that we reached out to with invitations said yes, they wanted to be a part of this and to be able to really help those who are going to be attending the conference, in their equipping. And so it's exciting for us. It's been an exciting process, but it's kind of how that came about.
Yeah. And we actually, because of the overwhelming response, to those requests, we actually added times for those
Yeah.
sessions. So we have, and these are all Eastern time sessions. So we have an 8 a.m. session, we have noon, we have 2 p.m., and we have 7 p.m.
Yeah, and this is an interesting thing too, because as you and I talk, Kelly, when we've been to different conferences over 2020, some before and some after that March date of, COVID, we experienced what's it like to be in a conference. And a model that we both really appreciated was X number of hours, but spread out over a couple of days rather than all of it at the same day. And we really felt this is why we laid it out the way that we did, because people still have life. We know that they have other
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities, increased responsibilities, actually, because people are at home, and it makes it different being at home or being away from the office or whatever their circumstances are. But then having these 4 time slots in spread out over 3 days plus that extra one evening, it makes it, we felt like, a little more doable for people to be
Yes.
able to attend without completely losing every other part of their day to the conference. And we want people to attend, obviously, which is part of why we laid it out the way that we did.
One of the great things that we landed on too, and we've also experienced this, at other conferences, was to, have recordings available. And then we took it a step further. We actually offered tiered pricing. So we realize that people are busy and they may not be able to attend live. So there is an option for them to have recording only. There is also 2 other tiers that you can see at bellumleaders.org/symposium to see those other tiers. So if you can attend live, you are welcome to do so, but then you can also get recordings.
Yeah, and as we know, as all of us know, having the capability to listen to that at your own convenience, because just may still be, even though we've got these variety of times offered, it just may not fit with your availability, and you may want to hear from that particular leader. And I think, again, this is one of the greatest things that we've been able to bring, is that the variety of people who are already doing things in the area of the topics that people wanted to hear about. I mean, it's a huge bonus. But then again, as you said, the tiers that we talked about and how we laid that out, again, to try to make it, doable for people in a variety of ways.
So those breakout sessions are really quite incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, all the sessions are going to be incredible, but when you get to go in and actually, choose who you would like to, tune into live, I think it's going to be an incredible experience. Really looking to equip the leaders, to turn the corner into 2021.
Well, and that's the other piece of it. We have asked everyone who's presenting to be able to bring practical tips to
Mhm.
leaders. We want them to be able to do that, as well as having space then for Q&A, because when the leaders come together and you're in that dialogue, there's the power of that. You're going to answer or get a lot of questions answered just from the presentation. But when you have that opportunity to interact directly with the leader, it opens up a whole nother door to what you gain from the experience.
For sure. Well, it's sure to be an amazing experience. I'm excited. I can't wait, to hear the presenters. We also have panelists, and so let's talk a little bit about that because we do have, most of the time slots are for individual presenters, but then we decided to bring groups of leaders together, and we do have 3 different panels. So tell us about the 2 panels that you're going to be running.
So the first panel is on just church health and growth. That has been a huge topic, of course, not even just this year, but prior to this year. So we're bringing in, we've got pastors, church planner, consultant into this mix to really be able to talk about it from a variety of perspectives. And again, that is just totally Q&A to be able to get some questions answered. And, by their own admission, are they doing everything right? No, but they're doing some things right. And there's that collaboration, I think, that'll take place in that panel. And then the other panel is really on a nonprofit leadership and engaging the community. So we've got some nonprofit leaders who've all been leading nonprofits for, well, certainly over 40 years of nonprofit leadership experience in that panel. One from a faith-based, the other 2 not. And yet you've got these issues, these comments, these people who've been leading, again, to really be able to help. We had a lot of that in the survey where people said, how can I be a better nonprofit leader? And a lot of that revolves around fundraising, some of those specific comments, but those are going to be exciting to really hear, again, from people who've been doing this for a while, and you bring your questions to the table. And I've found through the years, if there's anything I've learned, in teaching, it's that when one person asks a question, there's multiple people who have the same question as just one person asked. And so that's what that panel will give us, that opportunity to, to be able to bring some answers to folks and help them in that engagement. And you're leading a panel on publishing. Right. Yes. So tell us about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, the power of publishing. So yes, we have, I'll be the moderator for that. And we have 4 leaders coming on who have published books, as well as academic writing, because we know when we talk about publishing, we could talk about it from, self-publishing, and then we could talk about it from, the traditional publishing. There's all different kinds of publishing that we're going to talk about, as well as academia and what that looks like publishing. But then there's also publishing on LinkedIn and doing posting on social media. So we're really going to be talking about the differences between those types of works and how people can be getting their voices out, because your voice matters and your passion, whatever you're passionate about, it matters to be getting it out. And so we're going to learn how these leaders have decided and chosen to publish their works, how they're doing that, what it's brought to them, from an entrepreneurial level as well as from an academic level. So that should be really interesting and fun.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the whole thing, really just that interest and that fun, that engagement, that excitement, around the entire symposium. Really our goal, I know this is what we've talked about so much, is really helping equip people into that 2020. We heard if a month, probably the loudest message that we heard was people wanted to know how to go forward, how to go through, how to really press beyond this, and what was going to help them in heading into 2021.
People are tired. They want to turn that corner. They want to move into new opportunities. They want to have the courage and the confidence to do that. And we are just, we're excited to be able to bring the leaders who are going to be presenting and on the panelists, and really be able to engage with the public, regardless of where you are. This is a virtual event. You'll be able to tune in. And we just invite you to go to Bellum Leaders. That's BELEM leaders.org/symposium. And there you'll be able to see, there's a PDF, so you'll be able to download that and see all the presenters and panelists. You'll see the description of their sessions, as well as how to register.
We want to see you there. We hope to see you there. This symposium is for you.
To see you there. That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Dr. Wiater, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Until next time, this is Dr. Kelly Whelan. Keep doing great things because our world needs leaders like you.